The Great War of 1914 to 1918 was a terrible, bitter fight that saw the world locked in mortal combat. Never before had men fought with such terrible weapons over such a huge area. For the first time ever, bombs from airplanes. The Great War of 1914 to 1918 The Great War of 1914 to 1918 was a terrible, bitter fight that saw the world locked in mortal combat. Never before had men fought with such terrible weapons over such a huge area. For the first time ever, bombs from airplanes and poison gas were used to kill tens of thousands of troops and civilians. Heavy steel tanks crushed their way through villages and trenches, and machine guns mowed down thousands more. Powerful cannon fire hurled explosives into towns far removed from the heavy fighting. Submarines and ships slugged it out on the oceans, and thousands of ships sank to the bottom, loaded with crews and supplies. The world had never before seen such fighting. When a war involves many countries, we call it a world war. The First World War, World War I, started in Europe. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, many European nations were competing against each other for business and trade opportunities. Germany felt that it was being blocked from sharing in the trade and blamed England for its troubles. A spirit of jealousy and fear spread over Europe, and many nations started to form alliances, partnerships, joining together for a common cause to protect themselves. Germany helped form the Triple Alliance that included Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Another alliance was formed to stand up to Germany and its friends, the countries of Great Britain. The Great War of 1940, Balkans, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. The people living there were Serbs who hoped their lands would become part of neighboring Serbia, which was allied with Russia, not Austria-Hungary. See your classroom map. On June 28, 1914, the heir to Austria's throne, Archduke Francis Ferdinand, and his wife visited Bosnia. They stopped in Sarajevo. Suddenly, shots rang out, and Ferdinand and his wife fell dead, assassinated by a young member of a terrorist group called the Black Hand. The Austrian government was fuming mad. They blamed the Serbian government with knowledge of the attack, and, a month later, declared war against Serbia. This triggered the alliances into action to protect each other. Nations began to declare war. Russia mobilized against Austria. Germany declared war on Russia. Germany marched through Belgium against England's threats, and England declared war on Germany. Japan ordered German ships out of nearby waters and declared war on Germany. By Christmas of 1914, England, France, and the Triple Entente were bitterly fighting the Central Powers of Germany, Austria, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire. America was not yet in the war, but that was about to change. The sinking of the British passenger ship, the Lusitania, and other acts of terror in the United States brought action in 1917.